I really hope this video saves me because, man, gaming is drier than Sahara Desert. Smash a like button, subscribe right now because today we got top 20 new open world games of 2022.
After endlessly searching Google for literal days trying to find the most promising games, I think I've done it. So here are the top 20 upcoming
My guy, if this list is capped, I'm ready to just blow it. I'm ready to blow it, okay? Top 20, let's get
2022. It. Number 20, Fable. One of the most iconic Xbox RPGs of all time will be making its return this year. And while this will be a sequel to the previous Fables, it's actually not named Fable 4, but will offer that same experience of exploring vast environments while discovering the occasional odd creature in what Xbox call a new beginning to the Fable series. Number 19, The Day Before. Developed by Fantastic Games and while it
bro, like what's up with this game? Yeah, have you heard about The Day Before a while ago? It was supposed to come out, but we never heard. We're not even hearing anything about it. Okay,
actually set to release in June of this year. It appears that date has actually been pushed back, but it deserved to be included nonetheless. It's set in a post-pandemic America and offers a pretty promising-looking open-world MMO survival experience. It's everyone for themselves in this world. The graphics look insane, but that's one thing that worries me. What if it becomes another heavily ambitious Cyberpunk? Anyway, I guess
my God, I was anticipating him say Cyberpunk 2077, and he said it. He said it.
Just have to wait and see how polished it really is. Number 18, Skye, a hyper-realistic survival game set on the Isle of Skye during the Viking period. Your main objectives will be
that's cap. That's not a real game. That's impossible. Impossible.
To hunt and kill deer, wolves, and foxes, all while cultivating crops that you can eventually harvest. The map is 256 kilometers squared, which is a genuine 1:4 scale recreation of the Isle of Skye in real life. The graphics, modular building, and impressive-looking weather system gives me some promise about this game, and I think I'll definitely give it a go. Number 17, Stray.
Bro, that game looks insane, though. But don't let your dogs out. Next up, you got that game where you can play with that pussy. Stray?
The role of a literal cat trying to find their way home to their lost family. It's set in an impressively big cyber city. There are, of course, unforeseen threats at every corner that'll set you back and make the trip harder than it first looks. It's crazy how often these insanely good-looking games come about, and this one's no different. I might be a dog person, but this is almost just as good.
Yo, I'm a cat person. You're 1 in the chat if you're a cat person, 2 in the chat if you're a cat person.
Number 16, Earth from Another Sun. The most insane looking game I've come across in a while. While the environment might appear pretty barren at first, the galaxy is apparently filled with armies, different environments, and loads of communities. You're essentially in charge of an entire galaxy. There are hundreds of different weapons and abilities. You can even trade with others, smuggle things in, and fly all sorts of aircrafts. They vow to introduce new content every 2 weeks as well.
Yo, what are these graphics, dude? Now listen, I'm not really one of those guys that's like, yo man, graphics gonna be like super ultra crazy, but listen man, a brother definitely love to have pretty graphics, I'll tell you that.
Which is why I can't wait to see how this game turns out. Number 15, Forspoken, an RPG exploration game which follows the journey of Frey, a young New Yorker who was sent to a harsh environment that is called Athia. You'll be learning magic and battling creatures in order to find
you're gonna be playing as a
baddie. Seems to be a common theme in these story-guided games. The realms of Athia, in which this game is set, is genuinely really beautiful and clearly super expansive. It might not be quite my type of game, but I know this will be a fun.
Yo, thoughts on Forspoken, because I'm also somebody that looks at it, it looks kind of good, but I'm also not really like mega into it. Like I like it, but I'm not like, oh my god, I'm shaking, right? Like, oh my god. I'm not like that. It does look good though.
Favorite for anyone who likes the open world genre. Number 14, Marvel Spiderman Remastered. It's back. This iconic New York swinging game.
My god. Okay, Spiderman, it's a good game, but damn, can a brother like get like something like a new Spiderman?
Originally a PlayStation exclusive, is now making its way to PC this summer.
That one is coming out next year though.
Have once again been upped a notch.
Gotta wait.
I'm not a big fan of Spider-Man, please still subscribe. The movement does look seriously smooth and
bro, no way he said that. No way he said that. We gotta clip this, dude. We gotta clip this. Damn, like homie is not a fan of Spider-Man. How dare you say that, man? Okay, we gotta do it once for the homie. Listen, man, we're in 2077. We cannot have opinions that disagree with our opinions. Okay, that's impossible. Not
as it should though.
Doesn't happen. Can't happen.
Himself. Number 13, DrDisrespect. I'm personally a big fan of this sci-fi based FPS survival game, as I've been following their Discord and even included it in a recent video of mine. It's as if you combine some cyber futuristic game with Rust, and boom, you've got DrDisrespect. There are numerous ways to navigate this hellscape, but teaming up with friends and killing other people for their loot is probably the most enjoyable way. There are also countless locations to explore and weapons to use, along with a pretty interesting base building system too. Number 12, Palworld. Could this be a proper list without including this gem? I don't think so. It's a multiplayer open world survival game based around little cute monsters called pals. These guys aren't there to kill you though. They're there to help you out. You can breed them, fight alongside them, and even get them to work for you in factories or building projects. These guys are truly the heart of this Pokemon looking survival game, and I can't wait to give it a go regardless of how cartoony it may look. Number 11, Sonic Frontiers. The creators are calling it open.
Okay, listen man, Sonic is a little weird, right? Because there are a lot of people that are like, yo man, Sonic is not looking that good, like how they actually F this game up, like there's no way I'm gonna be purchasing. I've seen a lot of comments like that, and I totally get where the homies are coming from, but I went in with low expectations, and I gotta keep above 50, like looking pretty odd though, looking pretty kind of odd.
Zone Sonic. It's a much more hands-off approach where Sonic is obviously given more freedom and choices. It must be said that a lot of people are confused as to what this open zone approach could mean, because for many it's pretty unfamiliar, and that's fair enough.
And listen, I don't blame the homies either, because listen, how many times we've gotten 2042 games, 2077 games out there, so people are just confused. People are genuinely sus. Homies are having a hard time believing. People got trust issues, so I don't blame if people are looking at this, especially the hardcore fans, and they're like, bro, like I'm not sure, like what the actual F, right? Like bro, like that's not Sony. I totally get it, because we're like nowadays they F up everything, so I totally see you, man.
I still think this game shows a lot of promise though, as long as it isn't too confusing. Number 10, Hogwarts Legacy. I will say I've never seen Harry Potter, but I'll try my best to understand the game. Set in...
My guy, if you have never seen Harry Potter, he says that he has never, and maybe let's say you are the one that has never watched any Harry Potter movies. Maybe you have watched a little bit and you're like, this is not my type of movie, because I hear this a lot. If you're a younger dude and you watch Harry Potter movies, you're gonna get sucked into it. But if you're an older dude, doesn't happen all the time, but for the most part, if you're an older dude right now that never watched it and you tried to watch it, it's gonna be really hard. It's gonna be really hard for you to get involved, and therefore I'll tell you what, watch Harry Potter Prisoner of Azkaban. It's Harry Potter, it's the 3rd part. Watch that, and then like once you're sucked into it, then you watch number 4, then you watch 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you can watch the first one, the second one. I enjoy all of them equally, but my favorite one is the 3rd one, and a lot of people would agree the 3rd one is their favorite as well, because that movie was just unique. So if you want to get sucked into it, start with that, and then you can watch all the other parts. And because the thing is that, like, if your first impression is kind of bad, you feel bad with that, you're like, nah, this is not my type of movie, you're just not gonna watch it, right? So why not watch one of the best movie out there, start your journey with that, see what it's all about, and then once you're sucked into it, chances are you're gonna be binging that, and chances are you're gonna be watching the movies in order, year from now, 2 years from now, because I have been doing that. A lot of Harry Potter fans do that, right? So you know what I mean, right?
In the 1800s, you're in possession of a key to an ancient secret, and this ancient secret threatens to tear the wizarding world apart. This game will offer character customization, potion crafting, and of course, spell casting. You can upgrade your talents and genuinely become your own wizard. So maybe I need to read Harry Potter. Now we're halfway through. If you are enjoying, consider joining the family by subscribing, just so you don't miss my future games. Number 9, Redfall, an open world co-op FPS developed by Arcane Austin, who are actually an award-winning development team who made Prey and Dishonored. Alone or with friends, you can explore a really magical, vast world. This is one of my favorites on the list so far because it just shows so much promise. There are 4 characters to play as in Redfall, all of which have their own specific abilities, so you can choose your own path to overcoming the vampires. The number of different locations and outposts to explore go on and on. Now listen,
I watched this gameplay while Xbox was live streaming, and a lot of people were like, Z's, this is L, low dopamine. People were sleeping on the couch, and I'll tell you what, man, the game is looking pretty fire. I just did not like the running mechanics, because the guy just runs like that, right? Can a brother get like running mechanics like that? I want to run like that. You know what? You feel me? But otherwise, the shotgun go like bam. You know, like, I love it. Or
leave the rest up to you to discover. Number 8, Starfield. Developed by the well-known Bethesda Studios. I'm sure you have all heard of this one. Todd,
controversial.
The fact that half the Steam description is taken up by them listing past games they've made has got to be a good thing, right? Anyways, once venturing beyond the solar system, you have the choice of settling on a planet or exploring either. You have the choice of settling on a planet you like or exploring even further. Find rare artifacts throughout the galaxy and create a new life amongst the stars. Pretty poetic, to be honest. And I'll definitely give it a go.
Now listen, listen, the only thing that a lot of people are sus about is the 1,000 planets that they said, right? Because you know that most of those planets are just gonna be completely empty and dead. And I've seen this argument, and this is a really good argument. I'm not sure who said it, but somebody actually commented. It's not from me. Somebody commented in my video, and honestly, that opened up my mind. That changed my mind. Because initially I was saying 1,000 planets, that's bad. I'll still say that because I would rather have 100 planets than 1,000 planets. But that guy was like, in reality, most of the planets are completely empty, right? I mean, that's what NASA, that's what like all those space analysts would tell you, right? The astronauts would tell you. You do not know whether that's true or fake, but you know what I mean, right? Like in reality, most of the planets are empty, so this game is likely gonna be having stuff like that, and that's a really good argument. I see where he's coming from and I agree with that, but at the end of the day, you gotta understand we're talking about a video game, okay? Like people are gonna hop on an empty planet and they're just gonna get bored. I would rather have 100 planets, maybe make them like maybe make like 50 planets empty and 50 have really be good, instead of like just let's say 500 empty planets and 500 good planets, which you know it's not gonna be possible. It's gonna be more like 990 bad planets and only 10 good planets. Hopefully not, but you know what I mean, right?
7 Sons of the Forest, a hopeful sequel to The Forest. Similar to its prequel, you're surrounded by cannibals on a remote island with the goal of finding a missing billionaire. You'll go through all the regular things like struggling to survive, building shelter, and crafting new items. There are changing seasons which determine how you should approach hunting and give you that extra incentive to save food for the harsh winters. This will no doubt be a successful game. I just can't see it not going down well with anyone who played The Forest or survival enjoyers in general.
Yeah, this game looks fire.
To Enen, another game where humanity just avoided extinction and it's your job to rebuild with the help of nature. I included this game in a previous list and it definitely deserves to be in here purely because of its unique approach to progression. It focuses a lot on mindfulness and truly exploring your surroundings. Oh, and building around the nature instead of destroying it. It's definitely not one of those intense butt-clenching survival games that you usually come across with rabid zombies everywhere. The only
you gotta clench your butt cheeks right now,
you'll have here is the occasional visit from peaceful animals and the impressive looking weather system. I know Enen won't be for everyone, but you've got to give it credit for truly trying to be different. Number 5, Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon. It gets points for the longest name on this list, but most importantly, the sneak peek images of this game look crazy. To me at least. The Fall of Avalon is an RPG open world game set in a world full of monsters and fallen heroes. According to Awaken Realms, the developers, there are complex quests in which your choices guide entirely how you progress and which path you take, meaning you aren't pushed to do anything. Your goal is to figure out the future for Avalon and how to protect those living there. As their leader,
mind is not blown, but it's looking pretty decent.
King Arthur has recently died, which has resulted in chaos. I've never actually given RPG games a chance, but I'm definitely gonna see how I like this one. Number 4.
You wanna know what? My first RPG game was actually Cyberpunk. Like my first it was Cyberpunk.
Lodestar, another space game to add to this year's collection. As always, the goal is to get home by traversing through different planets with your friends or alone. Gather resources on the way, farm asteroids for precious gems, and survive. Even if you choose to play alone, you actually have AI companions that'll help you out. There are 8 different hostile planets, each with their own ecosystems and dangers, deadly aliens, and a lot of stuff that is just out there to kill you. Your spaceship is entirely upgradable, and you can optimize the layout for maximum efficiency. A lot of work has clearly been put into the level design for this game, given how detailed each planet is. Apparently, Lodestar is actually best with up to 8 people, so I can definitely see this game being a big hit, no doubt.
Lodestar. Okay, love the name.
Number 3, Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. A game that perfectly showcases the future of open world games, in my opinion. Obviously set in the deadly Chernobyl exclusion zone, it's full of enemies and so-called deadly anomalies. While this game isn't releasing in the time zone that was initially promised, like many games these days, it does look heavily ambitious and deserves the number 3 spot, I think. It's true to
probably one of my favorite Xbox game that I've seen, because I play on the Sony Pony. I'm a PlayStation guy, right? I play on Sony Pony consoles, but seeing the game, I genuinely like it. I feel like that's probably one of their big games that is that's gonna cater to a lot of different people. Basically, it's gonna be catering to a broad audience, and I think it's one of those games that's doing well. That's doing well.
With its bleeding, starvation, and sleeping systems, and it looks like they're really going for that real-life simulator with a blend of fantasy. It really combines FPS and an immersive sim together into just a bundle of horror. The graphics are what stands out for me, though. I know I'm a sucker for realism, but this is on another level, which is what you would expect for the Stalker franchise. franchise. Number 2, Ark 2. A game that I know
I'm into
so
that
many are
too.
excited for given how successful the first Ark was. Everybody knows what this one's about. Taming dinosaurs, struggling for dominance.
We got the family man, Vin Diesel coming in, boys.
It just looks like this is Ark on drugs with the next-gen graphics and numerous new features and styles of play. I personally never got addicted to the initial Ark, like I'm sure so many of you did, so I won't talk about the details since I likely know less than most of you guys. But
I basically watched some walkthroughs from Typical Gamer on YouTube, right? This is why I'm like really hyped for this game. Like, I'm probably gonna get it this time. Maybe I'm not gonna just end up watching this time.
I think I'll get stuck into the Ark franchise with this game. If you've never played Ark before though, this sequel will feature Souls-like melee combat, a lot of exploration and survival with the occasional visit from a big old dinosaur. There's obviously building as well, taming, and an advanced character progression tree, meaning this is another opportunity for you to sink thousands of hours into a game you have a love-hate relationship with. Number 1, Crimson Desert, one of the most impressive looking games on this list, set to release in late 2022. A crazy looking world with fantasy creatures at every turn. The combat focuses mostly on melee and is pretty reminiscent to the Shadow of Mordor games. When you're moving around, the snow literally moves around your feet. I know that's not groundbreaking technology, but I'm sold. Seriously though, this has got to be one of the most promising games with almost anything you could think of. Interchanging seasons and weather alongside PvP and PvE options at every turn. There are numerous dungeons to explore and puzzles to solve, with the option of taming some mythical creatures along the way. This isn't a sequel to Black Desert though, the previous game from the developers Pearl Abyss. Crimson Desert has entirely new characters and a new storyline. So to me at least, it's looking like one of the most promising open world games of 2022. If you enjoyed that
and listen man, some actually bad news came out for Modern Warfare 2 and even some brand new leaks came out for GTA 6. So click on this video on the screen. We got good news and bad news, and I will see you right there.